Guys, we have two brand new notices in Summoner's War. One of them is fairly quick. It's just a monster balance adjustment. The other one is a new event that we've had similar events for in the past. So let's get it started. Let's take a look at this pre-notice Artmaster. This is for the mostly for the Fire Artmaster. Also a little bit impacts the Light Artmaster based on how they did it. So in the last balance patch, a lot of us were complaining. It's weird that we were complaining. I'm like first picking this Fire Artmaster, and then I'm like, he kind of needs a nerf. Because I was like, I have to first pick this Fire Artmaster because he's that strong. He was putting a unit in a scroll, then stripping the entire enemy team, then attack, power buffing, and speed buffing all in one turn, which was pretty ridiculous. You just put him on Swift with your fastest Swift set, give him some accuracy, and he basically, I mean, you're at a massive advantage already in the game. So they did. So I feel this was definitely fair, even though this is a monster I use all the time. I feel this is definitely fair because he was a little bit overpowered. Just the reality of the situation, he was overpowered. So the fire and light one, the light one gets a little bit of a nerf just based on the fact that the fire one was the one that really needed to get nerfed. Slightly decreased the duration of the seal. So the seal is based on his speed as well. So one of the things, if you're looking to counter him in the future, Leo is a nice counter to because Leo limits the speed of everything. So then he's going to trap your unit in the seal for less time, but it's already going to be less. I'm not sure how much less. For right here, but it is at least less. And then this Blossom Painting, this is just removing the attack speed increase for 2 turns for all allies. So he's still going to AoE strip everything, and he's still going to attack power buff, but the speed buff is not going to be there. So I feel like that's a nice nerf for him. I feel that that's definitely fair. He was probably the unit that needed to get nerfed the most in this balance patch. No matter what tier list you really look at for like RTA as far as that's concerned, he was at the top of it. He's a very, very strong unit. So I feel like this is, honestly, I feel like this is fair. It's a unit that I was first picking all the time, so being someone that's using this unit, I know he's a little stronger than he should be, and I feel like this is a fair balance patch for him. So this is going to be in the next update, 6.33 update. And then this next one here, Summer Special Default 4-star Monster Summon and Skill Level Up Event. So many people, when we do summons for them, they're like, oh, I've never gotten this monster. I've never gotten that monster. I'm like, how have you had years of playtime in the game and you've never summoned these monsters? That makes no sense. We've had these events in the past where they will give you whatever 4-star monster. You get to summon just one in the event. I'm like, how have you not had a Lucian in like 5 years of playing? There have been several of these events. You could have just taken a Lucian. So if you haven't taken a Lucian before, here's your chance to get a Lucian and not you know what's going to happen. People are going to not do it, and then people are going to complain about it in the future. They're going to, oh, I never got a this. I'm going to be like, that's some BS, because we had multiple of these events now. So this is your chance to get the 4 stars that you're missing, maybe some meta units for PvP content, or even for dungeons. If you have no Melias ever, you didn't get them from the 7-year scrolls or anything, maybe this is your chance to get a Melia. In my experience, I've been playing around with the Melia and the Water Cowgirl. The Water Cowgirl is actually a pretty decent second if you don't have 2 Melias and you're like, oh, what do I need? The Water Cowgirl is actually not bad in that spot. There's other dot units as well. So you could go for a second Melia if you want, but I'm just saying it's not. I'm just throwing it out there that it's not necessarily mandatory that you have 2 of those specifically for that dungeon. Lucian is a great pick. Some of these new Onimushas, if you have not gotten those yet, are great picks as well. Some of the snipers are fantastic picks. Some of the newer stuff, but really it's all about what the most meta-relevant thing that you have not summoned is. So you can summon a default 4-star monster. You also get a default... this, I think it's funny that they chose to put her in there, but anyway. Or Vertiheal too, because no one's going to be choosing... Please don't choose Vertiheal, guys, because this is just a fusible unit. Anyway, that's besides the point. This is the event schedule. You get a 4-star... There's also Awakening and Evolving things, but you get a 4-star monster of your choice from Fire, Water, Wind, and then a default 3-star of Light and Dark. Keep in mind that you may want to choose some of the things that got second Awakens, right? So if you've never summoned a Shren or an Ashir or a Joltan or something like that, or a Shaman, the Light Griffin is another really solid one, or you have Thrain as well. All of those are really, really solid choices to choose from these events. So we have this, and this is just showing you basically the same thing as always, how to acquire points to just play the game. Because, like, you mean farming? I don't know if I'm going to do that. Yeah, and then for the next one, like I said, you summon a default 4-star monster. You get to... It's one of those events where you keep checking off these little boxes. Not checking them off, but, like, you summon it in the event page, and then eventually you get to the one that you want. But, yeah, and then, like, when you see the thing that you want, you're like, okay, let me choose that one, and then that part of the event is over. Same thing with the LD one. You do not get any of these very, very rare ones, like the Light Fairy Queen, which you just get from the game anyway. The Light Magical Archer, Light Dark Cowgirl are excluded from the summons, but those are things that you wouldn't normally be summoning from anyway, from LD scrolls, you know what I mean? So, this other thing I just want to touch on quickly. Can you guys see that? Yeah. So this one, level up skills to default 4-star monsters, I would recommend to not do things that have fusible skill ups, or not do things like Chloe where you can do 3 stars for skill ups, or like Taoists, right? So, don't do those. Don't do the things that have 3-star skill ups, and don't do the things that have fusible skill ups, just because you can easily get those skill ups in other ways. Level up skills of default 3-star monsters, lulz. Awaken a default 4-star or below monster. It's best to use ones. The ones that have 3-star counterparts are things that are easier to awaken anyway. I think most people already know that. But, like, for example, Chloe or the Taoist should have less awakening materials to awaken them than something that's like, you know, Lucian or whatever. Anyway, this one and this one, actually more so about this one. This one kind of the same thing applies, but mostly about this one. Use points to evolve a default 4-star or below monster to 6 stars. If you're looking to 6-star a Dart, for example, just as an example to throw it out there, or like Lulu or Lucian, right? So you actually get more value out of 6-starring a Lulu in this event than you do a Lucian, because you skip the 3-starring of the Lulu and then 4-starring of the Lulu. So you actually gain a little bit more value in that if you do a 2-star to a 6-star, as long as you're going to do it anyway. I'm not saying do a 2-star specifically if you don't want to do any 2-stars. I'm just saying you get a little bit more value of doing it like this. And then this is basically just, please read. Again, it's all this other stuff that I'm not going to read. Please read. So anyway, just something that I want to mention for that. I think that this is the thing. Okay, let's take a look at some good choices for things to pick from this event. These, like I said, these Onimushas, I'm just going to glance over it quickly. These Onimushas are nice. Fire String Master, Water String Master are nice. Can Girls are nice. Twins, if you haven't gotten, like, maybe one of the twins, although they're not as meta anymore. Like I said, the snipers as well. All these snipers are good choices. I would recommend Lucian. I mean, if you don't have a Lucian, just pick Lucian, right? If you don't have a Lucian, if you don't have a Skogul, if you don't have a Shimate, if you don't have a Triana, all these are solid choices. Lucian should be your first. If you don't have a Lucian, Lucian. This should be your first choice. That should just go without saying. Julie's a fantastic other pick as well. Well, actually, Julie you get from guild shop pieces, so actually don't pick Julie. Galleon is another solid one. Water Twins, anything that really we were sticking in the 7-year scrolls. But for the most part, most people should have gotten a lot of the stuff that they're missing from the 7-year scrolls. If you're missing something from the 7-year scrolls, then go for that. Also, the Onmushas are fantastic. LD units. You know, this one's a nice one if you don't have it. There's no Second Awaken on this. Jolton, Second Awakening. Basically, if we just go down here and find the best Second Awakened ones, then those are really the ones that you should pick. This guy's nice. This guy's super solid. If you don't have him, really consider him. Another one I think a lot of people aren't going to consider, but I do believe that they should, is this guy. So this guy's not a secret dungeon unit. It's actually harder to get him than a lot of people realize. Fantastic unit he is. People that are endgame know how good he is. People that are maybe early to mid-game maybe don't realize it yet. Shaman's a fantastic unit. Based on how the game has changed recently, when I say recently, I mean in the past year, Shaman has went from being like basically garbage to being a fantastic unit. So I would definitely recommend that. Also, I would recommend Ashir is another super solid unit. Based on his base speed, and he does an attack gauge boost here with Not that skill. His attack gauge boost over here with Predator's Cry now. He didn't used to do that when he was, this is just a speed buff when he's normal awakened, but now that he's got second awakening, he also boosts their attack gauge, and something with 115 speed with attack gauge boost and also some kind of threat and also some kind of sustain is a fantastic unit overall. These guys are, you know, these are not bad in general as well, but I would recommend Thrain, I would recommend Shaman, and I would recommend Ashir. Oh, and Shren too. So Thrain, Shaman, Ashir, Shren would be my biggest recommendations. And then anything else good that we... I mean, if you're missing one and you've always wanted that unit. Kabila is another nice unit. Even without second awakening, she's got 120 base speed. She's fantastic for arena offense, especially with all these 33 speed leads nowadays. It's really just a matter of speed a lot of times for arena offenses. But yeah, I think that's about it. I just wanted to go over my quick little recommendations. Quick little recommendations. Like, Bagel, you never shut up. Quick little recommendations for what I would recommend from the event. It's a nice event, and also just as a... I know people are going to be like, where's your face cam, buddy? It's like 5 o'clock in the morning that well, it's 4:30 actually in the morning that I'm recording this, and I got stuff on my face. It's not, listen, it's not like a cosmetic, it's tape. I have tape on my nose. If you guys have had nose surgery in the past, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I thought I would give you guys a break from having to see my ugly face for one video, and then back to torturing you in the next video. So anyway, that's it for this one. I hope you guys got something out of it. Let me know what you are looking for to get from the event in the comments below, and I will see you as always in the next one.